Stadia may be going away, but Xbox just adopted one of its best features. We all know that Stadia is taking a Viking funeral off into the sunset, which means there aren't a ton of cloud streaming services left. Of course, there is Microsoft with its cloud streaming platform and the Game Pass Ultimate package. There's Luna, and there's several others that are out on the market as well. But I think it's fair to say that Xbox probably has the largest platform, or at least the most prominent platform at this time. Now, when Stadia was announced, they were like talking really big dreams here about how they were going to promote the service and how they were going to drive demand and all that stuff. And let's just take a little flashback through history about how Stadia announced its product and what its plans were.
With Stadia, any link can be an access point to the game. So for a developer, the entire internet can become your store.
Now, that is a really powerful statement that they're talking about there. Any link can become access to your content. Now, the internet and content has always been sort of just, hey, a click away, but cloud streaming has not been that way. And so Microsoft this week, or recently I should say, I don't know if it was necessarily like this week, but they've been slowly rolling out basically click to play access. And now it looks like it's available for everybody. So what you do, and I've got a nice little demo here about how this can function, is you just go to Bing. So you open up your favorite browser and you type in bing.com if it's not your default search engine, and you search a game like Forza Horizon 5. And you can see right here at the top, it's basically click to play. And I say basically click to play because it's not quite click to play, because you got to see I got to click there twice. And for whatever reason, it did not detect my wired controller connected to my box until I touched a button on it in the browser. Either way, doesn't matter there. You can see how quickly and how easily that was to get into the game. It pretty much 2 clicks, click on the screen here because I move my mouse off of it, have your controller connected, and you are off and running. Now, this is, in my opinion, a first step towards really where they need to be going. Because as you can see here, it's a pretty smooth process, but it's not quite perfect because there are other things that have to happen. As an example, I think one of the most powerful features of this sort of click-to-play model is not somebody like myself, because I, in theory, or more than likely, if I'm going to be playing cloud gaming, I'm just going to open up the Xbox app and play it directly inside of there instead of the full browser. I'm playing it here in the browser intentionally to show you how easy it is. What they really need are game demos, game trials, game access to people who are not in Game Pass Ultimate, because right now this would not work. I believe I didn't try it without an account. I'm almost positive you could not do what I am doing right now as a trial. And you can see here, I am terrible at Forza. And also, if you are playing Forza like I do on occasion, make sure you're playing it as a GT2 RS, possibly the finest automobile ever made, in my opinion, at least of the modern era. I'm not taking opinions on feedback on that. Either way, this is me recording the screen using XSplit, so the frame rate is not perfect if that's why things look a little bit off. But this is me playing Forza through the browser, and this is such a big deal because what Stadia was trying to do and what they were promoting at their event several years ago is that you can take a single link, send it to your friends, send it to your potential customers, and they click it and instantly they have access to your content, and the content in this manner, meaning games. And so what Microsoft has done here is that they've taken that first step. This is something that I thought really would be the differentiator for Stadia, because hey, Google has this little platform, you may have heard of it, called YouTube, which is where your eyeballs are absorbing my sweet soothing tones at this current moment. But that model never really got there in a way that made any meaningful impact, because obviously they killed it. But you can see here, just searching through, again, Microsoft has, it looks like all their games pretty much lined up. And of course, the end goal here, at least for Stadia, was like you're watching Halo Infinite content on YouTube. Obviously not Halo Infinite, but NBA 2K content on YouTube. You can click a link and you're suddenly playing NBA 2K with your streamer friends alongside, just jumping right into the action. But I'm showing off Halo Infinite here because it's a game that Season 2, I will be completely honest, have not played a ton of. There's a lot of videos on this channel about what's going on with Halo Infinite. But the point here is that just how seamlessly and easy it is to get access to this content. While it's in the search engine right now, and I think we can all agree Bing isn't the biggest search engine, but it is still drives a bunch of traffic on the internet. That being said, Microsoft is about one step away from allowing you to be able to share these links directly in, say, text messaging or other models like that. I guess technically you can. I know there are workarounds, but being a really promotional tool. We already know that Xbox Game Pass did $2.9 billion in console sales in 2021. That information came out from their court case in Brazil, trying to get approval down there, which they did. So this is a really big deal that Microsoft is now comfortable and in a place where they're starting to put these links everywhere. I think this is just the beginning, starting to see it show up in Bing. Now, one of the reasons why I say it's not quite everywhere yet, because if you search other Halo things, you don't necessarily get to play Halo Infinite. You got to be pretty specific about searching for that specific title at the end of the day. But you can see where Microsoft is going with this, that they're getting closer to just embedding these links in various places, and that's really going to be a driver of growth. At least that's how they hope to see it, especially on mobile. I think especially on mobile, not necessarily on the PC like I'm playing here, because I think there's better ways to play if you have native PC that's powerful enough. That aside, you can see me here do a little bit in Halo Infinite and get my butt owned by a sniper. But I wanted to run through Halo Infinite on here because I haven't done first-person shooter on xCloud in a while. I've pretty much done Forza or other light titles like Ori. I still love to play Ori. Play Ori quite a bit just to kind of relax. And then there's also the Minecraft Dungeons that I play quite a bit with my daughter, and we've done it through cloud gaming as well. You can see here, looks like I'm going to get a kill, but nope. And that's pretty much my Halo experience in a nutshell. First-person shooters still aren't my jam yet for these types of services. That's just the way that I look at it. If you're playing casual titles, it's perfect. Either way, this is a big deal, and I think people are going to gloss over that Microsoft is now doing this, but just by exposing more people to those play buttons, once they get the, hey, dip your toes in for free, what Microsoft truly needs is a curated Halo experience. As an example, you see Halo Infinite, you hit play now, and it drops you in somewhere in potentially inside of a mission. I think in the campaign is probably a good place to do it. Or with Halo, it's like free trial, and you click it, and you get 3 minutes inside the world of Forza. And again, in a curated, just you're dropped in with a GT2 RS in the middle of the map and let you drive around. That sort of thing, I think, is the next major step that Microsoft needs to take to truly sort of elevate what Game Pass can and will become. And I do think that they are going to head that way. But you got to remember, Microsoft keeps telling us every financial quarter, they say, judge us on our content and services, which is primarily Game Pass. And so as they continue to add these more links and add the more direct content, they're really just stealing a model out of the Stadia playbook that we thought would make Stadia a success. Now, the contrarian will say, Brad, well, if Google didn't do it and they weren't a success, why would it work for Microsoft? I think it works for Microsoft, one, because they have a ton of content. Obviously, they're trying to buy $70 billion dues worth of content from Activision, provided they get approval from around the globe, and they will have that. I mean, you can imagine the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. You see a little button that says, jump right into the mission, and then you're off and playing as a free trial. That is a very, very compelling offer straight out of the Stadia playbook, and so I think Microsoft is going to be the one who's able to execute it, unlike Google. So if you want to stay updated on everything else that's happening in the world of Xbox, make sure to keep it subscribed here, because the only BS on this channel is me.